Hey there, Japanese Retro Game Center with another YouTube video. Happy New Year, happy 2016. I usually still say 2016, so we'll go with that for now. I'll try to do 2016, I guess. Let's see while we start. New Year's resolutions for me. One would be Famicom disc. I'm going to work on building and completing my Famicom disc collection. I'm not quite halfway there, but I only have 150, maybe, discs to go. At least the licensed one. I have a couple unlicensed ones that I've added in my collection. Added a couple recently. Actually, I have them right here. While we're here, why don't I show some of those off? Recent additions, Section Z. So, Capcom, regular one. This was How Fushigi na Tabi, Hal's Mysterious or Strange Adventure. Pretty interesting. Knight's Move. This one is actually sealed. I guess you can take it off without making it void. If you take off that sticker, it comes up as void on the back, like it's open. There's ways to get around that. Usually it's just if the sticker's old. But actually, I haven't even opened that one yet. Pat and Coon, if you saw my Twitter pics, this is the infamous, if you ever watch that James and Mike Mondays, they did that, I think. When you switch the disc B to play the game in the fucking box, right, for the Famicom Disk System. And then Bishoujo, was it Mahjong Clubu, right? So we have that right there. So this is the unlicensed one. As you can see, the disc is completely different. So this one could be an interesting one to play. We'll leave it at that. So those were some of the pickups. I had a couple more. And I picked up a lot more, I just haven't got through them yet. So, anyway, that's not the main point of today's video. Today's video is continuing my Super Famicom collection. It's been a while, it's been a month. But, hey, look, I have a tripod. Now I just have floating hands. We'll leave it at that. Who's the man with the hands? That will remain a mystery, sort of. Alright. So, anyway, let's go ahead and start. We are up to S's. We had just started S's last time. So, first, of course, is Pachinko, right? So again, these are the lesser played ones. I keep my Contras, my Dragon Ball Zs, my Secret of Manas, Rockmans, Puzzle Bobbles, Street Fighters. I keep them on the front. These are all my back burner, my not as often played, but part of the collection, as I'm trying to complete my Super Famicom collection. And you run across lots of Pachinko games, as you've seen. So here's the box. Now that I have my hands free, I can show you all the stuff. So, manual's in decent shape. Game. Here's what the game looks like. Alright, put it in there. And I even had bonus passwords. So, write those down really quick if you need to get ahead in Sankyo Fever. Right? So, there you go. Alright, so that was the first one. Next one is, so how many do we have? Let's go through there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have about 16 to go through. I have 16 per like rack space. So we'll go through there. Next one. So Sanyo World Smash Ball. So Kitty-chan, I'm sure you recognize in their company Sanyo, and other little characters which I'm not quite as familiar with, but I think I saw them at Universal Studios Japan, USJ, as they call it here. Alright, box upside down, back, right? So, let's open it up. Let's see. Box is in great shape. Some boxes aren't so great, but some boxes are really good. This game is really good, so these lesser played games are usually in good condition. Most of the games have wraps, some don't, right? It's really random. I usually buy my games used, right? So, and the inserts. So this is the classic. If you ever buy a Super Famicom game, you will more likely than often see this. That's the AC adapter warning. They had green ones and pink ones, and this one even has registration card, so warranty card. And yes, it is for this game because, see, it has Kitty-chan on the back. That must be right. A lot of times they're mixed. I've had so many random different registration cards in with different games, so I don't know how that happens. Just the used stores just throw stuff in there, or the people when they sell the games, they just leave it. They just put the stuff back in randomly. Alright. Next, fishing. Who doesn't love bass fishing, right? I don't even think this is bass fishing. So, Sunspool fishing, right? So, I just say bass fishing, right? By default. But anyway, so fishing game. So, fishing game. So, Sunspool has the Fuji logo, right? So, it's part of that deal. This one just has, right, the warning, or the AC adapter warning, and then there's the game. Basically the same, nothing special there. They kept it all the same. Alright, so now here's some interesting ones, a little more interesting. So we have SD Gundam Gaiden. Let's see, Night Gundam Monogatari, right? So I have 1 and 2. I have 1 and 2, both together. So there you go. Alright, don't mind me if I cut off the games. My apologies for that. Getting used to tripod. This is the first angle. As I do this more, I'll find a better angle or something and get better with that. But for now, let's go with this. So, SD Gundam. See the second box? It has some damage. It's been played. This one, not too bad. Not too bad. It has a few creases from there. Let's open it up. Manual. Manual looks decent. It's got a retro game store like kind of label on there. They put a mark on there. So, to give it numbers and everything. Game's a little tanned on the back, but not too bad. And there it is. Okay, and then no special inserts in that one. Let's see. Gundam 2, the box is... The flaps are like, they're there, they're just folded in. So, I've seen a lot of people do that, and that just ends up ripping them off eventually. Alright, so this one has the manual. It's the same. It's a smaller manual, as you noticed. It doesn't fit in a normal spot, but this is pretty cool. So, Shonen Bandai, right? Taking like the Shonen Jump, right? Young Jump or whatever. So this, even though it looks like the manual, it's actually advertising the game. And there are other, where they combine all the other characters like Ultraman, Ultraman, and the other Gundam characters, and Godzilla, and then they play soccer and dodgeball and things like that. So Bandai was really good about their advertisements. So Bikuriman, some other Japanese anime, Gegege no Kitaro. The guy passed away who drew that. That's a really old story, Gegege. JoJo is in there. There's Ultraman, the worst like fighting game, right, ever on Super Famicom, maybe ever. Alright, so some more games, some more Gundam. This thing, the Daytech, the card reader, right? Yeah, the card reader for the Famicom. Worked with some Dragon Ball Z games and I think a couple other games. More Gundam. Then they get in the Famicom ones. So baseball, right? They played baseball too. Another Bikuriman. Sailor Moon. There's Sailor Moon on Game Boy. Okay, there we go. Alright. Oni, Dragon Ball Z. What's this? Is that still? Oh, this is back to Super Famicom, right? Handhelds. So Bandai was really good about the advertisement is better than the instruction manual and maybe better than the game. So there's that. Alright, next. Oh, more Gundam. So SD. So I think you all know the SD like Gundam series, right? And they had that. So this is SD, the Great Battle. So this combines your Gundam with Ultraman and Kamen Rider. So Kamen Rider is huge. My boys are starting to get into that. Much to my wife's dread, right? She's a big fan of action heroes and fighting, right? But so anyway, this is that. This is a really fun game. So if you can pick this one up, this one's really good. It's cutesy. It's, you know, super deformed, but you can choose between the 3 characters. They play their theme music and a little, you know, little action adventure. It's like an overhead platformer, if that makes sense. I'll try not to make up any words here. Registration. Oh, lucky double bonus. I have 2 in there, so I'll take one out. 2 AC adapter warnings. Take one out and add it to another game. Actually, this one, the Gundam one needs it, so let's add that in there. Now that is more complete. Voila. Okay, next. Shanghai. So now we have the Shanghai game. So I've seen these computer games, right? I've played this before back in the States, but even before it came over to Japan, they had games like this. Took me a little while to figure out, even in English or whatever, but here's a Super Famicom version of that. This is Shanghai 3. And I don't have 1 and 2, so, or maybe 1 and 2 didn't come out on the Super Famicom, not sure. There's that. Oh, so here, as we were talking about before, there is the pink label. So some games have the pink warning little card. Not really a label, is it? Alright, another Shin Mahjong, right? Mahjong. Is that right? Yeah, I said Mahjong, so similar to the other game, Shin Mahjong. Right, there you go. Let's zoom in. Mahjong. Everybody loves Mahjong, right? I do not know how to play, and not really interested in learning, except for that Bishoujo Mahjong. That I could get into. Alright, moving on. Second half. So here is Momotaro. So you know Momotaro, Peach Boy, I believe is called. So the train, like kind of game of life board game with trains over Japan. So they have that, but this one is RPG. So it was a Shin Momotaro Densetsu, the new legend of Momotaro or whatever. So they were like, hey, let's make an RPG out of it too. They did everything, almost anything and everything with Momotaro. So let's go ahead and open it up. So here's the book. Some of the books, like some of the Goemons and Momotaro, some of them they actually did Japanese style left to right, or right to left. This one's actually left to right. So cool little artwork in there. Characters, some of the characters you fight and stuff. So if you like RPGs and you can figure it out, or you're well versed in Japanese enough to, or Japanese games to figure it out, and you like Momotaro, that's worth picking up. Alright, let's get into some Puroresu. I just saw this guy. Jushin Liger, right? And then Muto, right there. So I watch a little pro wrestling, right? So I saw him in here in Nagoya, right? They had a show, went out and saw that. So like me, some pro wrestling, right? And so this one has who's this have on there? So it has like Chono on there and Vader's in this one. So when he was working in New Japan, so this is the New Japan Fantastic Story, right? So it has your few mode. It has a few good modes here, and this is Super Famicom, so it's still early, right? There's some once you get later in like N64, PlayStation, there's some really good games, but these are a good start. And here's another one. So this was the 95 Battle 7. All right, this one has let me check real quick. So this one has the Steiners, Choshu Riki, right? That guy's ancient, right? Wild Pegasus. So, Wild Pegasus. Well, it was Benoit, right? Interesting look. So, had, which one? Road? Hawk Warrior. So, it had Hawk on there. Right? So, we got that. Oh my gosh. This one doesn't have the manual. That's such a shame. So, some of them don't have the manual. At least I got the registration there for it. Some are generic, some actually have the title in there. They actually did pretty good with that. So, there were the wrestlings. Let's see. Looks like next is another fishing. Not only fishing, it's fishing to bassing. Okay. So there is a guy, Japanese guy right there. So he must be a famous fisherman and expert. And this is his game. So there's a fishing game. Let's see. Manual. I have a random green bag. I'm pretty sure that didn't come with it, but this is how I got it. And that is how I'm going to leave it. It may never see the light of day again. Side pocket. So here is side pocket. Right there. Let me get it in view. So there is a side pocket. Let's open it up. Manual, same as the box. Game. DC adapter, of course, warning, and of course, registration. Dun, dun, dun. Nobody fills out these registrations, not even in Japan. Sometimes they take off the barcodes there for them, which sucks if you want to complete games. Alright, so next one, Silva Saga 2. This one, it has an old price label on there too, still attached. It gets so old, and some of the tape, like there's tape on there, I don't know if you can see it, where you'll do more damage if you take it off. So, I'll leave it on there. Maybe I'll find a better game in the future. So, or a better copy of the game in the future. So, there it is. Here's the game. Registration card. Kicks ass. That looks really cool. Make sure it's the right one, right? I think it's the right one. Maybe. It could be different. No, Seta. Alright, so that's the right one. So that was pretty cool. So you never know what you're going to get with this registration card. Some of them actually, I put some effort into it. Some are generic. Depends on the company. Alright, couple more. Last two, actually. So, I have SimCity 2000 SimCity Junior. SimCity, the original, I have it. I have it on my front. Here, I'll pull that out right now. So there's the actual original SimCity. I keep it on my front because I actually play that game. 2000, the non-computer 2000 version. I don't play as much in SimCity Junior. Never really played. Didn't get into it. So, very quickly. So, manual's a little torn up, right? Well, not torn up, but has some creases in there. It's got the pink warning label. Here's the game, SimCity 2000. It just doesn't run so good on the Super Famicom, unfortunately. The computer version, I think, was much better. Well, I played it on computer first. One of the few computer games I actually played back in the day. SimCity Junior. Did not play this one, so that's why it is in the back of my collection. Let's see. Here's the manual. Game. No inserts or anything like that with this one. Game looks great, though. Flawless, right? So. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to stop there. Those were starting to the S's. I'm only up to SI with Sim. So, let's see. We have a long way to go. We're not even at the beginning of the Super. Super takes like a rack or two or three or four by itself. So we'll just have one called like Super Street Fighter or something. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you again.